Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn and here's the headlines. Prime Minister MINH presides over the government's regular meeting. Vietnam People's Army's military arts in Ho Chi Minh campaign. Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu eyes sustainable green tourism. On November the 9th, Prime Minister MINH presided over the government's regular meeting to review the socio-economic situation in October and the first 10 months of the year and rolled out the orientations and missions for November and the last 2 months of the year. Prime Minister CHINH stated that in October, the government directed ministries, agencies and localities in carrying out 6 major tasks, including the implementation of the conclusions of 10th session of the 13-party Central Committee, response to the consequences of the natural disasters, preparation for the 8th session of the 15th National Assembly. The government has deployed solutions to control inflation, stabilize the macroeconomy, promote growth, ensure major balances of the economy, analysis of the implementation of the targets in 2024 and in 5 years, and the operation of the Socio-Economic Subcommittee that is responsible for drafting documents to submit to the 14th National Party Congress. The Prime Minister laid emphasis on the task and solutions to complete all the goals of 2024, especially the GDP growth target, the mechanisms, policies and solutions to promote science and technology innovation, revitalize old growth driving forces and promote new ones. Recently, a conference to evaluate the implementation results of the National Target Program and socio-economic developments in ethnic minority and mountainous area for the 2021-2030 period was held in Gia Lai. Permanent Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Hòa Bình, head of the Central Steering Committee for National Target Programs for the 2021-2025 period, chaired the conference. At the conference, delegates focused on discussing and evaluating the results of the programs for the 2021-2025 period, pointing out issues that need to be addressed while proposing key tasks and solutions in the coming time. Permanent Deputy Prime Minister Bình highly appreciated the determination and effort of the entire political system and the support of the people of 16 provinces in implementing the program, while affirming that thanks to practical and effective support policies, ethnic minorities increasingly trust the leadership of the party and state, actively participate in socio-economic development programs and community activities, contributing to maintaining security and order in the locality. On November the 9th, the Na San Dong Lĩnh Điền Xá Inter-Village of Bản Sen Commune, Vân Đồn District, Quảng Ninh Province, organized the National Great Unity Festival in residential areas and Civil Military Cultural Festival in 2024. The event saw the attendance of Mr. Nguyễn Xuân Thắng, Director of the Ho Chi Minh National Academy of Politics, Chairman of the Central Theory Council. 2024 is the first year that Quảng Ninh Province organizes a National Great Unity Festival in residential areas associated with the Civil Military Cultural Festival. This is an initiative of Quảng Ninh to continue strengthening solidarity and the close bonds between the military and the people, an important foundation in building and consolidating the national defense posture associated with a solid people's security posture. Mr. Nguyễn Xuân Thắng affirmed that this is a special event for local people, while hoping that in the coming time, Bản Sen Commune will continue to consolidate and promote the strength of the great national unity bloc, as well as implement patriotic emulation movements more effectively. The delegation of Lào Cai Border Guard Command of Vietnam and the delegation of the Hung Hue Border Management Section of Yunnan Province, China, have recently organized a session to review their coordination in 2024. The two sides assessed the results of coordination in border management and protection, cross-border crime combat and prevention in the responsible area since October 2023. In the coming time, the two sides will continue to seriously implement 3 legal documents on the Vietnam-China border. The two sides agreed to promote the effective cooperation of the coordination mechanisms between the two sides, including meetings and talks, exchange of letters and notes, hotline contact, joint patrols on law enforcement in the border areas, and coordination in preventing and combating cross-border crimes. They will also strengthen information exchange, promote mass dissemination to popularize regulations on border, implement disease prevention and control for border residents, while continuing with the coordination in designing and creating content for leaflets in Vietnamese and Chinese for legal dissemination among border residents in the areas under the management of both sides. At the end of July, a number of northern provinces were devastated by heavy rainfall and extensive flooding, with Điện Biên being one of the most severely affected areas. As a result, the Ministry of Defense decided to build 100 great unity houses in order to support the local population. The EU soldiers worked diligently on this difficult terrain so that locals have safe places to live as soon as possible.
In Mường Pồn Canyon, Điện Biên District, Điện Biên Province, during the last days of July, the floods came through, leaving devastation in their wake. In this particular area, within just one night, 7 people lost their lives, went missing, and dozens of houses were washed away. The Điện Biên Provincial Military Command immediately deployed all the available resources to assist in home reconstruction after obtaining it from the Ministry of National Defense in August, giving priority to families whose homes had been totally damaged by the floods. One of the first recipients of housing support is Lương Thị Lương, a single mother who now finds great comfort in her new home after the flood had destroyed her home and possessions. With thanks to the soldiers, the flood washed everything away, and I had nothing left. Thanks to the soldiers, I now have a place to live. Now we'll try to rebuild and back living again. During the task implementation, we arranged jobs according to each soldier to help build the houses. Some soldiers will build the walls, while others will do the plastering, and we will adjust the workforce as needed to speed up the construction. Through the Điện Biên Provincial Military Command, the Central Military Commission, the Ministry of National Defense, and other military units have assisted the province in building 219 gratitude houses in celebration of the 70th anniversary of the Điện Biên Phủ victory, the Vietnam People's Army 80th anniversary, and the 35th anniversary of the Whole People's Defense Festive Day. The civil-military relationship has been further strengthened with its new home constructed and handed over to the civilians. This serves to reaffirm the truth that wherever the people are in need, the soldiers will be there to help.
Unique and distinctive military art can be seen as heritage of Vietnam that has been culminated through thousands of years of heroic and glorious struggles to defend and develop the country. The art that is imbued with humanity and the culture of Vietnam during the country's resistant war against the U.S. imperialists, along with the development of forces, the Vietnamese military art underwent new developments, and the Ho Chi Minh campaign was the pinnacle of the combat tactics of the Vietnam People's Army.
Ho Chi Minh campaign was the largest combined arms team offensive campaign in the history of the Vietnam People's Army. The Vietnam People's Army conducted attacks in all directions, creating a siege from the beginning. The Vietnamese troops both attacked the enemy's outer defensive area and organized troops to penetrate deep into the inner defensive area, attacking directly into the enemy's center. We formed 5 directions of offensive and advanced Reup towards the inner city. That combat tactics was new but effective. In other words, its direction was tasked with a specific mission, which was a breakthrough in the military art different from other campaigns. The Ho Chi Minh campaign was also the pinnacle of the art of people's warfare. was a combined offensive tactics of the Revolutionary Armed Forces, including the Task Force, the Commando, and the local armed forces, and especially the uprising forces of the people in Saigon, currently known as Ho Chi Minh City. They were people of all social strata, those who were ready to support the Revolutionary Regular Divisions.
Cái sức mạnh tiến công của chúng ta được nhân lên gấp bội.
The Vietnam People's Army offensive and liberation strength were multiplied thanks to the combination of different forces ranging from political, military, mass mobilization to diplomatic forces. In addition, there were special forces involved, such as civilians, youth volunteers, and some other forces who were not service people but ready to support the troops in letting them move more quickly and showing them where the enemy's bunkers and weapons were. With highly refined military art and close interoperability among the forces, after only 4 days of lightning fast and daring, the Ho Chi Minh campaign ended up in glorious victory. At 11:30 a.m. on April 30th, 1975, the victory flag flew on the roof of Independence Palace, ending the Ho Chi Minh campaign, and also the 25th-year resistance war against the U.S. imperialists to savage the country. Time will pass by, but the victory of the Vietnamese people in the national resistance war against the U.S. imperialists will forever go down in Vietnam's history as one of the greatest hits.
Coming up next, workshop discusses production of films on history. Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu eyes sustainable green tourism. On November the 9th, in the framework of the Hanoi International Film Festival, a workshop on developing the production of films on historical themes and adapted from literary works, the event attracted the participation of Vietnamese and foreign filmmakers, experts, and film critics. Participants said that although there have been films successfully exploiting historical themes and famous literary works, Vietnamese cinema has seen a modest number of good works on these topics. Filmmakers said that Vietnam is a country with rich history and developed literature. Developing films exploiting historical themes and adapted from literary works is not only an opportunity to honor national cultural values, but also an important strategy to help Vietnamese cinema enter the international market. These films can be a bridge between the past and the present, between tradition and modernity. Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province has conditions and capabilities to develop green tourism, aiming at sustainable tourism growth. Over the past years, the provincial tourism community has focused on developing and practicing tourism business in the direction of respecting environment and nature. Many green tourism models have been formed to not only provide tourists with green resort spaces, but also contribute to raising the community's awareness of green lifestyles.
Currently, the new generation of tourists are those who love the environment, respect, and are responsible for nature. Grasping this trend, the tourism sector of Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province has been developing tourism products based on unique cultural values, pristine ecology, while calling for investment in green tourism projects. We are focusing on introducing about 230 destinations and 54 tours and building a green tourism program. All tourist facilities are aiming for green tourism and net zero, changing processes and technology, respecting the ecosystem, taking advantage of all opportunities to use clean energy. Upholding the success of several pilot community tourism models, in 2020, the Provincial People's Committee issued a plan on developing community tourism products by 2025. Suối Rau Eco Lodge will continue its mission of protecting the environment and will reach the milestone of 1,000 biodiversity species by 2025, spreading environmental protection awareness to all tourists and those who love nature. They'll have a way to create ecological areas like this.
When I want to get back to nature, I will always come out to Eco Lodge because I know that I'll be surrounded by fresh air, I'll have plenty of healthy food.
With its potential and opportunities, green tourism models will increasingly be formed and developed in the province, not only adding a new breeze to the province tourism, but also contributing to spreading meaningful messages about the long-term and sustainability of the smokeless industry.
This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.